Hello everyone, welcome back on this wet Monday morning. As you can hear the rain on the roof. Just want to give a quick shout out to Ivo Van Zon. Please go and check him out. I'll put the link in the description. Just guy's a diamond. We all have our sort of specialities within anything we do. Everybody's good at something, you know. And Ivo's really, you know, how the hell he got the make, the model, and even how much it cost in 2009 just from a blank box, basically. It's just, guy's just amazing. So, you know, especially if you do HO, the guy's not just about trains, but buildings as well. Just, yeah, he's just such a knowledgeable guy. But I'm going to go and put this, lock it away in the safe now I know how much it actually costs and how much it's worth. So I'm not sure if I'll bring it out again, actually. Yeah, pretty pricey item. But to be fair, if I had this item and I didn't know what it was, I'd probably chuck it on eBay for like 50 quid or something, you know, because, you know, unless you know exactly, you know, what it is, you've got nothing to judge by. So, you know, well done me for purchasing it, I guess. So that is that. We are now going to get on with the good stuff. So in this video, we are going to make the Assault Course. And you'll go, Mark, those edges are a bit straight. We'll come on to that in a second. This polystyrene, it was from a wardrobe I brought years ago. And yeah, got a number of sheets. So I thought, you know what? It's time to use them. I do enjoy my modelling. The actual scenics, I love it. And as you can see there, that's my little lake, and all will be revealed soon. It looks a little bit messy at the moment, but don't worry about that. That's absolutely fine. But there's different methods. Today I'm going to use polystyrene and sculptor mold. And if you just bear with me a second, there's a reason I'm showing you all of this stuff, guys. But I also, you can see that I've got obviously paper scrunched up, and I used Aida cloth, which is for cross stitches, dipped in 50 PVA water mix, and also comes out very nice. It's a very cheap method, and excuse the messy mess. This is actually my preferred method, the method over there. It's also scrunched up paper, but, you know, tear off strips of newspaper. Again, 50-50 PVA water mix. I actually like that method. It's very cheap. It just takes a really long time to do. But for big areas, you know, using the scrunched up paper is fine. Here I've got sculptor mold or fibre mold or modelling mold, whatever you want to call it, and forest flown blocks. I use the brown ones, which are okay, but I do prefer, just bear with me 1 second, is this green foam block, especially with areas like this, because it's such a small area. Obviously there's not going to be too much sculptor mold on it, and you know, I can get nice contours on it. But first of all, I'm going to set the camera up, and then we're going to crack on with it. So, rightio guys, let me just you don't want my ugly mug in the shot, but obviously every time I do something, I keep laying it out, and just so I know, basically in my own mind, you know, how things are going to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pop this stuff off a second. Not putting it too far away. There's a reason for me to do this now. Because, as I said a minute ago, we've got straight edges, and we don't like straight edges. It's not very prototypical, is it, eh? Gosh, that word does my bloody head in. But, ta-da! Ta-da! My flamethrower. Please keep one eye shut whilst using this. It's not pretty, but I'm just gonna start it up if possible. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully you can see this, I'm just literally little tip for you is just curve off the edges a little bit, just round the edge there. And I did the same here, but you know, it gets rid of straight away. I know I'm using sculptor mould. Hopefully you can, if I'm not in the way. I'm just going to make a couple of little dips there, just where the and again just going along the edge, and it makes obviously less mess. Because this stuff is, you know, unless you've got a foam car, which I haven't, because I've never sort of felt the need to have one, is I'm just literally just doing the edges basically, and that's already, just going to turn this off, but that's already, it's curved off the edges already. You know, in the long run it'll save you a little bit of sculptor mold, just curving the edges. So I'm just going to, righto guys, I said I apologise. No, I don't apologise. Paul Botcher will tell me off if I apologise. But any crudeness that you might see, you probably won't be able to see that because I've got my forward facing camera on, just because I'm struggling to find places to put the camera. But I put my wire here ready for the zip line, and zoinks. And Mark plays with wire for the next 30 minutes. There we go. Job done. Right. I'm gonna hopefully this will work out just fine. As soon as I start getting some sculptor in. I've made it quite runny, just so I've got plenty of time to basically play around with this, because I've got a few things to do, which I'll show you in a second. So basically I'm starting with this sort of what will be a marshy pond. Now sculptor mold's really good for this sort of this kind of stuff, this, you know, small sort of intricate stuff. But if I'm doing hills or something like that, I'll use paper mache, because just it's basically cheaper, and it's just tipping at an angle, just because of the weight. Just go with it, folks. Just go with it. It'll be fine. Just because it's not going to be a deep pond, but I do need to go and wipe my hands a second, because there's something I just quickly need to do before this sets. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to get myself a cloth, if I can find one. So I'm going to cut these down once it's all set, but straighten them up a bit. Ta-da! Some reeds. Like I said, I need to chop them down, but I'll do it once it's all set. I'm gonna carry on working outwards. The other thing I'm gonna do while I'm here is I'm gonna cover this piece of wiring as well, because this will be the end of the zip wire, the death slide, the slide of death. And once I've kind of done this bit, I'm just gonna tip this out now. Spread it around a bit easier. So hopefully you'll pick all this up on camera. So I'm not going to do it all on camera, just, you know. What I need to do now is carefully it's all about the small details, so I'm just holding the wire where it would roughly be, and where the guys will be landing. We'll have some muddy area. I say it doesn't look like much at the moment, but just bear with it. Trust me, it's gonna be just absolutely grand, this. I don't want it, hence I'm sort of using my stumpy tips, I want it kind of a little bit on the rough side. And I'm just literally where, you know, the obstacles are going to be, is I don't want it smooth, basically. So the guys would come down here. So again, we're just making a little bit of a, again, it'll be filled in, a little bit of a trench. So I'm going to go and make up another batch, and I'll give you an overview at the end. Hopefully it'll be fine and dandy. So as you can see, ta-da! You can't see much here. I'll give you a closer look in a second. It's all my own work. It's not like I got Luke Towan hidden away anywhere. Yes, you bloody have, Mark. You've had me away here for years. You haven't even made me a kangaroo steak, you bloody bugger. Shh, Luke, I'm telling people it's my own work. I'm just joking. That was the worst Australian accent ever. Right, I'll give you a closer look. Mrs. Fantasia is going to kill me. I'm absolutely covered in plaster. I'll give you a closer look, guys. So just, you can see, not a single right angle in place. If you've got a smaller sort of gas burner, it's a little bit bad, but you know, that works. It takes off the edges and stops a little bit of because trying to cut that stuff with a knife is a bit of a pain. It's not like this green stuff, it just cuts beautiful with a knife. This is viewable from 3 sides. So tomorrow I'm gonna chop my reeds down a little bit because they look a little bit too tall. But I just wanted to get them in while the plaster fibre mould, whatever you want to call it, sculptor mould, is setting. And yeah, I'll chop that down tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to use products that I've never used before. Woo! So looking forward to that. And we're going to get all this scenic up and everything else. I've got, it's hard to see on camera, you can see the wire. It's ready for the depth slide, which is going to go up on that sort of lump there. But it's all nice contours, nice gentle contours. And you know, all the sort of just the little details just make a difference, you know. So, you know, last thing you want is to have a right edge on your scenery, really. But I said I need to leave it 24 hours because look at the bloody state of me, mate. It looks like I've had a plaster fight. I said, Monica, that's my wife, she's gonna bloody kill me. So yeah, I didn't do it indoors at least. So yeah, I got a bit of cleaning up to do, and we'll let this dry off. And tomorrow we shall do the scenery. So the fun bit, I enjoy doing that. Keep staying tuned because yeah, I'm having a ball doing this, a real blast. So I'll see you in a sec.